Greetings YouTube, greetings stackers, and a very, very warm Happy New Year from Numistacker, from me over in South Florida. Had a great time on New Year's Eve, and then a little bit of a rest yesterday. And today we're going to talk about pandas, my very, very favourite furry little creatures, those pandas that are getting all over the place at the moment. And of course, one of the leading suppliers of pandas is Panda America, who were also, I think, the first commercial organisation in the USA to import pandas. And a lot of the early pandas were actually produced in consultation with Panda America, and Panda America were very much the focus of building up the marketing of panda coins in the USA at least, and then that focus spread later to the rest of the world. So they sent me a couple of brochures alongside a delivery. This delivery actually was from the summer, and there was a problem with the post. It got sent back to Panda America, and then I asked them to redeliver it for me when I was over here at Christmas time. So a couple of nice brochures covering the gold and silver panda ranges for this year, and also look at the previous designs over the 35-year history of the Chinese panda. And then a little unboxing of the coin that I ordered back in the summer that never got to me. This was a set of coins celebrating the World's Fair of Money 2017 in Denver. And before I show it to you, I just want to give you a little bit of background about the Denver Money Show and about the World's Fair of Money. Each year there's a great big summer show. It's called the World's Fair of Money, but it is in fact a coin show with all the big American dealers and educational sessions. Very interesting if you ever get a chance to go to one of these. And each year they normally celebrate with some kind of special coinage, a panda, and so there's quite a big collector's base for these coins. This year there was something of a controversy. The special panda editions were sponsored by two different organisations. MCM sponsored this 1 ounce silver panda with a 5,000 mintage from Shanghai Mint, and Panda America sponsored an alternative design panda set, which we'll talk about in a minute. Both sets of coins were actually minted by the Shanghai Mint, which is one element of the controversy, and it's the first time that kind of thing has happened, and there's big questions about whether or not Shanghai should have actually been able to mint two. And there was also questions about whether the ANA, the American Numismatic Association, should have actually ever given permission for the production of two complete sets of pandas to go with the ANA Denver show. So in the end, there were 5,000 of the 1 ounce silver coins from MCM. There were 888 sets of two of the regular Panda America version, and there were 100 of the Piedfort versions. And the pictures you just shown of the graded coins were actually of the Piedfort version, twice the thickness and 100 only. So quite a few different varieties of panda just to celebrate one show, and we'll have a look at those and have a chat about these generally and whether they are a good idea. A lot of the problem with these coins is the varieties. There are so many varieties, and the question is whether or not they should really be given the designation as a show panda if they weren't actually available at the show to be bought. I think that the MCM version, I'm pretty sure, wasn't available at the show, or maybe it was just about available in very, very small quantities. I can't remember going back that far. The Panda America version, there were a few of these available at the show as well, but the Piedfort version wasn't available, as far as I recall, at the show. Only the regular version was available. And, people picked up on the fact that there were two of these versions available, whether it was right to have two versions of the coin, which one was better. That's a whole other question we can talk about. So let's take a look at the coins. This one is actually not precious metal. There are 818 of these, and this is got numbers of kind of different colours of rings. It kind of mimics some of the tri-metallic precious metal pandas, but actually it's not precious metal at all. On the other hand, there are only 888 of these minted, and they all sold out. I think there's probably a few left graded over at Panda America. Otherwise, everybody bought all of the ones that were available. There doesn't seem to be a problem on a lot of these coins on generating sales. They do tend to have a really big following of people who collect all the different panda types. There has been criticism, though, that there are too many panda types available. And in 2017 particularly, there were more than the usual number of different types of panda coins and non-fiat medals. And, and there was some whisperings that people are getting a little bit wary. Whether that represents an opportunity, I don't know. I mean, things like this are always going to have a value, and they're always going to be in demand because people like to fill in the gaps. And of course, it doesn't take very many collectors to want to buy this kind of collector's item when there are only 888 that have been minted, compared to silver pandas which have a 10 million mintage. So I've always historically preferred these very special editions of pandas compared to the normal regular silver bullion coins. I think they're more interesting and they tell a story, but I am conscious that once the sponsors of these coins see something succeeding, then they do have a tendency to try and repeat the same thing over and over again, create more varieties. And there does seem to be a tendency to create one or two exclusive varieties of some of these medals and almost pass them through to friends, try and create a collector's market out of them. And and that's something which is positive in the sense that there are more varieties out there to hunt for, but it doesn't represent an even playing field for collectors, because quite often some of the varieties were never really available for people to collect. There might be a silver coin clad in gold, and that may be one or two of those might get graded, but the average collector never gets a chance to buy any of these things. And if they're not available at the show and it's a show medal, do they really represent, should they have the show association? I don't know what the contract is between Shanghai Mint, Panda America and the ANA. That's something which is private for them. But I would very much like to see for some of these show medals that it shouldn't really be called a show medal unless it actually has been available at the show. Sometimes you get show medals which are only available one per exhibitor. Sometimes members of the public can line up and get the medal. Sometimes there's one variety available at the show and then 6 other varieties that suddenly appear afterwards that have been held back and are then sold for a large amount more money. The good things that are going for this one are that it's made by one of the main Chinese mints, the Shanghai Mint. It's got a very nice COA compared to some of the offerings from the XSJ Mint, which I would very much like to see them improve their COAs. It does explain the story and what it's made of and the fineness and the diameter. It's all there in English. It's pretty intelligible, pretty accessible. So I think they've done a good job with that. And it's a silver coin. It has 888. It hasn't quite got the same very limited mintage as some of the other private medals. For example, the Panda Luna and the Garden Panda and the Panda Temple of Heaven. There's a number of editions of private medal that don't celebrate particular shows, but they go for particular themes, and a lot of those have mintages between 30 and 199 or 299, 499 in the case of the Panda Luna. I think they've made a pretty good effort. I actually like this coin. When I first saw it, I thought, why is there so much kind of white behind the panda's ears, but it's kind of grown on me. I think it's pretty nice. I like the bamboo leaves. I think the production quality from the Shanghai Mint is well up there. Very nice. Might have this one graded at some stage, but there are only 888 of these, and that makes it, in the light of show medal mintages, a pretty good collector's item. I hope that next year they see sense and only have one company involved in doing these things. I think that MCM have shown an element of greed in this by minting 5,000. Certainly the 5,000 was authorized. I've got no way of knowing how many they actually minted and how many they actually sold, but I think the previous one was much less than that at the Anaheim show in 2016. That was very successful as a sales thing for MCM, and I think they then wanted to repeat that. They increased the mintages, they were greedy. I don't imagine it sold anywhere like as easily as this one, which is the product of Panda America. So I don't know whether Panda America will get to do a 2018 one at the Philadelphia show. If you are anywhere around Philadelphia in August 2018, then try and come along to the World Fair of Money. I'm going to try to make it coincide with my summer holiday in America, if I possibly can, and spend a day at the show in Philadelphia before I come to Florida or afterwards. So yeah, I think they've done a good job. It's packaged nicely. It's a really nice collector's item. It wasn't too expensive. I don't think Panda America were too greedy in terms of pricing. I think this is, it's a premium item, but it's a reasonable deal for the collector. And kudos to Panda America. Did a good job on this. And I would certainly buy from Panda America again. Their customer service was very good. And now I'd like to know what you guys think about the Show Pandas and whether they are good things to collect. Please like, subscribe, and let me have your comments as usual.